Because in breast, remember, this is such a common case that all examiners will like to ask you questions from many dimensions, and hence I am trying to give you an elaborate note as possible. Sir, what is your differential diagnosis? Please remember, the differential diagnosis could be any of these two. One is a fibroadenoma. Another one is a phyllodes tumor. Now, remember that. Now, see these both points and you will decide which one you will be mentioning at the initiation, phyllodes tumor or fibroadenoma. Phyllodes tumor occurs in the age group of 20s to late 50s. Phyllodes tumors, either they have a variable growth rate. Phyllodes tumor have a variable growth rate, meaning it can start from slow growth in a case of a benign to a rapid growth in a case of a malignant. Complete. Phyllodes tumors usually stretch the skin and make veins prominent. Okay. Phyllodes tumors do not have axillary mets. The consistency, remember, is variable. That means it can be hard, it can be soft, or people call it as variegated. That means it can be hard, it can be firm, it can be soft. All three can happen. Now, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now, a fibroadenoma, remember, occurs in the age group technically between 15 to 25. If it occurs below 15, viva question, it is called as juvenile fibroadenoma. Okay. Rarely, fibroadenomas can occur between the age group of 25 to 50. It is rare, but it can happen. Fibroadenomas can be painful, can be painless. The pain may have a relationship to menstrual cycle. Lastly, fibroadenomas are firm in consistency, not hard or soft. And the most important point for fibroadenoma is mobility. And hence a fibroadenoma is called as a breast mouse. That means if this is the central quadrant of the breast, a fibroadenoma can be moved from this area to this area to this, and then you can again come back. Whereas mobility is absent in a case of a phyllodes tumor. Cancers and phyllodes tumor are not mobile. Lymph nodes are not involved in fibroadenoma. Have I made you understand up till this?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Now tell me, out of these two, in this patient, what is your differential diagnosis that you will like to keep?
Phyllodes.
Very good. Absolutely right. I will like to be more happy with phyllodes rather than this one. What type of phyllodes tumor?
Malignant.
A malignant phyllodes. Okay. Why is this not a phyllodes?
So because there are axillary metastasis.
Very good. So question is, sir, now see the grade of questions. Why not phyllodes? Number one, what is the change in the skin that I told you?
Your skin will be stretched, but in this
Skin
case
is
it is purely
stretched.
orange.
Very good. So skin is stretched, no purely orange. And what about the lymph nodes? Lymph nodes are involved, suggesting what? Cancer or phyllodes is a cancer. Have I completed? Have you understood up to this? Hello. Yes. Okay, good. Now the next question is, what is the importance of the menstrual history in this patient? Okay. Or the other side of question is, what are the factors in the menstrual history that can predispose to a cancer? What is your answer?
Early menarche and late menopause.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much. Early menarche defined as before 12 years. Late menopause defined as after 55 years. First childbirth after 35, no, not 35, sorry, after 30 years. Next is anything more? History of hormone replacement therapy, particularly estrogen use. Next, these are the factors.
OCT usage.
These are the factors that predispose. What are the factors that protect?
So multiparity.
Number one is age of first childbirth. What is the age of the first childbirth? Before 30. Point number two, the duration of breastfeeding. Greater than 12 months. Some people say no, it is 6 months. Number three is, after this, remember that the factor that protects is multiparity. Okay, right. Now, what are the debated factors or equivocal factors? Is oral contraceptive pills. Remember that are debated factors into this topic. What about abortion? Abortions come into this topic of predisposing this part, particularly if abortions are in the first trimester of pregnancy. Have I made you understand up till this? What are the points in history? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Good. Written up till this? Good. Now, after this, then, the next point to remember and to talk about, after you have discussed up till this, is now, what is the family history that is important in this case?
So, what is the role of abortion? Okay.
Now, talk about family history. This patient or a history in a first degree relative. Now, who is a first degree relative? Remember the picture that I drew. What is that picture, sir? Where is the picture? Where is or chalo, take, I will again draw the picture. If this is the father, this is the mother, and this is the patient, this is the brother of the patient, this is the sister, this is the sister, and now this patient has 2 daughters. Okay. Now, what is the first degree relative? So what I will be doing is that I will be coloring them by these various colors. So if I color this by this color, that means either in the mother or the daughter, this is to be called as a first degree. Remember. Whereas, if this was in a different way, that sorry, now see this picture. So what are these ones then? What are these relatives?
Second degree.
Very good. So remember that they are technically a second degree. Okay. So this is your patient. I really forgot to mark the patient. And finally, this is technically called as a third degree. So have I made you understand this degree wala story? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I used these colors because I wanted you to understand what is exactly this degree, right? So this is, remember that if a first degree relative has a cancer, the patient has a history or chance of a 20-fold rise of a chance of a breast cancer. Some people predict more than 20-fold. Some people say 15 to 20. Some say no, it is around 30 to 50 times is the chance of a patient having a cancer. So this is something that you are known. Good students are asked a Viva question on a model which can predict this thing. What is the model that can predict
Gale
that?
model.
I have very good. What is the spelling of that?
GAIL.
Okay, it is not GAY, huh? It is GAIL. So, and there is another model that goes by Santa Claus. Remember, Gale model predicts the lifelong risk. Claus model predicts the decade-wise list. Okay. So this is for good questions in Viva. And finally, examiner will ask you, why did you take a history about so many cancers in this part? Can any one of you tell me?
So BRCA1 and BRCA2 gene association.
Okay, sir. The better answer for this is very good, very well said. If you are given this question, I will take different color so that if you have a different color pen with you, please write. In Viva, if you are asked, why did you take so many cancers? The answer for this is, sir, I took history of, someone has said that answer, I'm very impressed, is a BRCA1 and a BRCA2 related cancers. What are these cancers? Please refer your theory notes. You are asked a question on this respect. What is a familial breast cancer and what is a hereditary breast cancer? What is the difference between a familial breast cancer and what is the difference between a hereditary breast cancer? Have I made you write up till this? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Have I made you write up till this point?
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is, have you completed notes up till this?
Yes, sir.
Good.
In the
Right.
pedigree chart, the patient's
Yeah.
sister and brother will be second degree.
The patient's sister and brother, for whom it will be second degree? This is the patient. Okay. Now the patient's sister, no, see, if you consider the lineage, this is your patient. Okay. So the patient has, say for example, the patient has a cancer. This is the patient has a cancer. The patient's brother also has a cancer. That is technically a first degree because see the generations. But if the patients, remember that if the patient's father has a cancer, that is to be considered as a first degree. Always understand. First degree is from your parents and from your children. Your generation is exactly in the same one. They may be the first degree if they have a cancer with it. Okay, because you are not sharing the full set of genes. You are sharing maybe some of the genes, but again, both of you are coming from your parents. So that is technically the first degree. Okay, right. So let us come to the next one now, and then we'll we'll end the class. It has been a long class. Now, whenever we talk about the general survey, okay, any more doubts or queries till now, please ask me. I took a very elaborate history. And I took an elaborate history. I hope you have written all the points. Have you completed all the notes? Can I proceed? Okay.
For the history of distant metastasis, which vertebrae is
Yes, sir. Sir, which vertebrae is involved? I really forgot. What did I write?
T12L1.
Thoracic 12 L1. Okay. So this is the vertebra that is involved, probably because there is more increased mobility and flexibility in this vertebrae. Right. Now let us talk about this part. Now, in the general survey, what are the points that you noted? I hope all of you have written this point, except for that performance story. Anything to ask about in this area? I think this is something that you know. This is something that you know. I hope you know how to measure the body mass index. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. Height in meters divided by, very good. So I think you will have a mobile phone with you during your exam. So please do that. What I am very interested to write is this part. Virtue's node is not palpable. Now tell me, which lymph node is technically the virtue's lymph node?
Left supraclavicular.
And how do you look for the virtue's lymph node?
In the two
On the
heads of
head.
the sternocleidomastoid.
Very good. So remember that virtue's lymph node is always this blue dot. Virtue's lymph node is technically the left supraclavicular lymph node. In cancer stomach, we'll be reading about this in detail. Okay. Remember this part. So this is called as virtue's lymph node, which indicates what procedure, sir? It indicates a patient with a distant metastasis. And if the patient has a distant metastasis, he is ascribed what number? M1. Okay. Have I made you understand up till this point? Hello. Have I made you understand up till this point?
Yes,
Good. Now, in general survey, at the end of the discussion, I wrote something called as performance score. Now, this is a point that this is the most common cancer that you encounter in your MBBS examination. So this is usually the point, and it is usually worthwhile to mention this part as a part of what is a performance score in oncology. Okay. Now, it is good to write like this. If you want to forget this one, no problems. It is not expected that an MBBS student will be knowing a Karnofsky score. I did not know what is a Karnofsky score, believe me, in my MBBS classes. Neither do I request you to remember what is a Karnofsky score. Okay. So what is a Karnofsky score is something that I will not request you to remember, but I will still write about what is a Karnofsky score into this point. Just give me a minute. Right. Now write, or you can draw a picture, whatever you wish. So on one side, what is important is write the Karnofsky score. This is something that is asked in your PG exams as well. And on one side, write the ECOG score. Okay. So Karnofsky score and the ECOG score. Okay. Just a second. Let me have a gulp of water down. Now, what I am going to write is that I am going to write the parallel of Karnofsky. Now, what is parallel of Karnofsky? What is this one? The patient has no complaints. Like you are a normal, healthy human being. You do not have any complaints. Okay. Or what I will do is that, sir, very sorry. I should erase this part. And I will try to make it easy for you so that definitely this is a big table. And what is this important thing to understand? Now, patient has no complaint. His Karnofsky is 100. His ECOG is remembered 0. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Patient is able to carry out all his normal activity and has minimal problems. Okay. That is 90 and that ECOG is 1. Okay. Now, patient can carry out the normal activity, but that is with effort. कोशिश करने की जरूरत है सर. दिक्कत होती है काम करने में, लेकिन डॉक्टर साहब हम काम कर पाते हैं. What is that one? Remember that? It is light housework maybe. Maybe that he or she cleans the toilet, goes to the market, takes rest, again comes back. So that is normal activity. Now, the patient can care for self, okay, but unable to carry out the activity or unable to carry out normal activity. Example, he cannot go to the market, but he can go to the toilet, can take a bath. That is called as Karnofsky 70 and an ECOG of 2. Are you with me or are you lost? Hello?
With you, sir.
Okay, very with you, sir. Thank you, sir. This is something new. I do not know where you taught these things in community medicine or medicine. No one.
No, sir.
Awesome.
Okay, good. So this is a new concept now. The next one is the patient requires occasional assistance. The patient requires an occasional assistance, but is able to carry out most of his daily activity. Example being the patient can go to the toilet. Okay. Sometimes he requires you to make a cup of tea. Okay, chai bana dijiye. So that is 60 and this is still 2. Okay. Now the patient requires assistance or requires a considerable assistance. That means the patient tells you, doctor, I need help to go to the toilet. Bathroom tak जाने के लिए मुझे help लगता है. Okay. I require an considerable assistance and frequent medical care. Doctor does come to their house again. Frequent medical care. The Karnofsky is 50, remember, and the ECOG is 3. Okay. Now, as you see, the patient is deteriorating. The patient is now disabled and requires special care. That means he requires a care to make him go to the toilet, maybe take a bath. So someone needs to care for the patient. That is 40, but ECOG is 3. The patient now is severely disabled, cannot go to the toilet anymore, uses a bedpan. Okay. And remember that this patient is technically hospitalized or in a nursing home, whatever you call that to be. Okay. Remember that is disabled and is severely disabled with 30 and is 4. So everything has to be done for the patient. The patient is very sick. Okay. The patient is very sick. Remember that. And remember that the patient is always hospitalized and death is probable. That is a score of 20 and still 4. Now, coming down, the patient is moribund on the deathbed. The patient is going to die. 10 and the Karnofsky 4, whereas patient is dead is 0 and 5. So tell me, what is the difference between this ECOG and Karnofsky?
Reverse order.
Karnofsky goes down, ECOG is
Specific.
Okay. So please remember this thing. So this is, have you taken this down or should I scroll it from above downwards again?
scroll.
Scroll. Okay. Now tell me, what are you today? 100 or 90?
90.
90. Okay. Someone said 90. That's very interesting. Now, what is about the story of this patient that you saw?
90.
90. Very good. Okay. So this is a new thing that I have taught you today. Now you'll really know that why is this required? Why should I be saying this 1, 2, 3, these things? Have you completed the notes? Hello?
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Have you completed this table?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, there is an important thing that I want you to do. If you have a marker pen with you, please remember, understand and highlight some areas. Karnofsky 100, Karnofsky 90, Karnofsky 80, Karnofsky 70, Karnofsky 60, or parallelly ECOG 2, ECOG 2, ECOG 1, ECOG 1, and ECOG 0. This group of patients are fit for an operation and chemotherapy. This patient is fit for operation and chemotherapy or radiotherapy, whatever you call that to be. Okay? This patient is fit for your chemotherapy or that. However, if the patient is in green, remember, this group of patients, the 3 groups, they are unfit for operations and should require hospitalization to improve their, and should require an hospitalization to improve their physical condition. So that means no operation in this group. Finally, the last group, 20-10-4-4 technically, is a group, technically 30 is something. This patient is moribund and is going to die. So please, no operation ever, no chemotherapy. And it is in this group that we go for something called as end of life care. I do not know whether you have heard this term or not. This is a care that is given to patients who are on the verge of death. It does not mean euthanasia, please. Okay. So this is the three groups.
Sir, is that palliative therapy?
Exactly. Sir, technically enough, you see, now palliative therapy is a big term. If you have said end of life care is a part of palliation, okay? So yes, you can say a yes also. But have I made you understand why do I need these two terms?
Yes.
Now tell me, today's patient, which group is this patient on?
Fit for surgery. Fit for chemo.
This patient is fit for surgery and chemotherapy. So can you remember this table that I have told you today? Hello? Have you understood this idea?
Yes.
Good. Because this table is extremely important for all cancers in the human body. That means the next day, if you get to see a patient of leukemia who needs a chemotherapy, or a child has a blood cancer, needs a chemotherapy or a bone marrow transplant, or a patient has a lymphoma needing a chemotherapy or a radiotherapy, or a patient has an ovarian cancer needing a surgery, can you decide whether you will go for hospitalization only, operation only, or end of life care? Can you understand by this table?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good. So this is the table that has been made for cancer patients only. This is not for a stroke, myocardial infarction patient. No, sir. However, for a general purpose, remember, Karnofsky is more or the less usually for cancers, but you can extrapolate it for non-cancer disease also. Example being a patient, say, with a heart condition, heart attack, heart failure, etc. Whereas ECOG, please see the full term because you are asked this in your MCQ exam. What is the full form of ECOG? Eastern Cooperative. Now the CO is Cooperative Oncology Group. So can you repeat after me? What is this full form of ECOG? Hello? Hello?
Eastern Cooperative Oncology Group.
The question is which Eastern? Bihar, Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand. Which Eastern do you think is this?
Eastern.
Japan.
Japan. That's an interesting thing. So that means you want to say Japan, Pacific Islands, Polynesian Islands, and South Korea or North Korea maybe. Kim Jong can be involved. Okay, so not exactly. Eastern Cooperative meant there were 12 hospitals in the eastern coast of America who came together one day over a lunch, etc. And they sat together and they were all cancer doctors. They made this coding called as ECOG. Which one is easier for you to remember?
ECOG, sir.
ECOG. Okay. So whatever you like, I feel for my own purpose, ECOG is simple for me. I remember ECOG. Whatever is your wish, you can do that. But remember, ECOG is only cancer. So I have taught you a new thing today. In your medicine, pediatrics, gynecology, surgery, ENT, eye, whenever you get a cancer patient, please remember, can you use this ECOG and Karnofsky now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is a new thing that you have learned today. This is extremely important for your MCQs because of the obvious reasons that you can now know. So this is a new thing that I have taught you today. So what I will do is that I will end the day with the clinical methods, because breast clinical methods, I teach elaborately to my postgraduates. You will not be needing those technical details. However, questions up till this point, I have given you an elaborate note today. I hope these notes will be very important. More or less, I've tried to cover all the MBBS questions that come up till this point. Any questions till now?